Yo guys, what's going on? It's Rose here, bringing you guys the Week 3 team builder for our match against Dashing Sceptile, coach of the Seattle Sigilif. As I'm recording this, I'm actually about to play the game in 30 minutes. But super excited for this game. Dashing is a super cool guy. You might, I'll have to link his stuff in the description below. He's doing some cool stuff. But yeah, we didn't get a chance to play our Week 2 game. My opponent and I, Odds, one of my best friends in the community at the moment, he and I, our schedules literally just didn't line up. His work schedule kept our work schedules just kind of got in the way for a long time. And then on the one day we were able to play, I got violently sick for 4 days. I couldn't do anything at all. I couldn't even get out of fucking bed. It was not fun. But, that's besides the point. But, we're bringing you guys this Week 3 upload. Super excited for this game. He's got a very interesting team. He's got a very good team. I like it. And I'm very not excited to have to deal with any of this shit. But you know what? Here we are. So I'm going to go over the matchup real quick, and then we'll get into the team builder. As you can see, our team consists of Iron Bundle, Sneasler, Sylveon, Goodra, Lycanroc Dusk, Torterra, Copperajah, Mandibuzz, Terra Fire and Water Typhlosion, Hisui, we have Pincurchin and Sandslash to finish it out. And Dashing's team is Hisuian Samurott, Galarian Zapdos, Hisuian Goodra, Azelf, a Terra Bug and Terra Groundion Mega, Enamorous Therian, Chandelure, Toxtricity, Mudsdale, Snorlax, and Terra Dragonair, which is normal fire. A few things to note about his team. Samurott is actually a little bit of a problem. The fact it can kind of get free Ceaseless Edges against a lot of my team. I have a few resists to it, but Ceaseless Edge, getting up those spikes, very, very much punishes my team, because I only have one, immunity, quote-unquote, to it, being Mandibuzz, that they're not affected by, so that's a little annoying, but, it is what it is. Ceaseless Edge is always free, except for when it misses, so, but yeah, it can be a problem. I do think we have a decent bit to deal with it. I think Mandibuzz checks it really, really well, because I'm not expecting it to have too much coverage for it. Also, with Iron Bundle's natural physical bulk, if it's a choice set, like he ran in his Week 2 game, then we're going to be able to handle that. If we get him to lock into a water move, that'll be perfect for us. Then Galarian Zapdos, I'm actually not I'm not excited to deal with it, but I think I don't have a lot of ways to switch into most of his team. So I kind of have to out offense his team, which is gonna be so much fun. But yeah, Galarian Zapdos, it got some new moves in this. So does a lot of his team got new moves in this DLC. Hisuian Samurott got Flip Turn, and I believe Knockoff. But it's got Ceaseless Edge, who doesn't need it. And then Galarian Zapdos got Knockoff as well, which is of course everything in this DLC got Knockoff, which is great for most people. But yeah, Galarian Zapdos is very scary with its dual stab having combined no resist on my team. Fighting Stab hits most of my team for super effective, and whatever it doesn't, Brave Bird hits, except for the Typhlosion in terms of super effective, and he gets Knockoff. So he hits my entire team for super effective with 3 moves, which is fully what I'm expecting. I'm expecting some sort of close combat Brave Bird knockoff U-turn. If he's banded, that's probably better because I can revenge it easier with something like an Iron Bundle or Sneasler, depending on my set. If he's Scarf, that's a little bit more of a problem, but Mandibuzz is a very good check to that as well. If he's Scarf, if he's banded, then I just kind of have to pick a sack and then swap in Bundle or something. That's kind of my only option. Or even Lycanroc hits it pretty hard with things like Psychic Fangs and Play Rough. Hisuian Samurott is, honestly, in this game, not that much of a problem for me, I feel. Between Iron Bundle and Sneasler, it wears this thing down pretty well. If he's a Spadef AV set, then obviously Sneasler is going to at least 2-hit KO it with close combat. He could be Fizdef AV, that's kind of what I'm expecting in this game. But with Hisuian Samurott, I'm not I expect him to bring it, but I'm not expecting to have too much of an issue dealing with it. With a lot of what I have on my team, we deal with it pretty well. So yeah, Sneasler and Torterra hits it really hard. Close combat from our Lycanroc is going to hit it very hard. This could be the battle of Goodra this week, which is kind of funny. So, but yeah, Hisuian Goodra, It's always a problem because of how bulky it is. It only got more annoying because it got knockoff. I don't know if the Hisuian variant got Scald. I don't think it did. I know regular Goodra did. I don't think this one did. Azelf, I'm not super worried about. Sylveon eats it alive. Spadef, well, it's perfect for it. And honestly, even if he's like Choice Specs or something, if we can get into Lock into Psychic, obviously Mandibuzz is a good switch in there, or like an AV Copperajah is potential for us, or honestly Goodra's natural Spadef is really good against it. Yanmega is a little bit of a problem. In his week 2 game, which I actually just watched that video as it went live today, he brought like a Scarf Terra Bug set with just Tinted Lens and just U-turn Bug Buzz. I forget what his other moves were. But yeah, honestly, I'm fully expecting, not necessarily the same thing. I think he could definitely bring a Speed Boost set with Protect, but I feel like Tinted Lens Bug Buzz is super free against a lot of my team. Spadef Sylveon eats it decently well, but it still definitely doesn't want to take, like, we don't want to take those hits too much, if we can help it. If he specs Tinted Lens, then it's, it's obviously much more of a problem. But if he's not Speed Boost, then obviously things like Iron Bundle are going to be able to chip that thing down and just get rid of it completely in a lot of aspects. So hopefully he's not anything too crazy. This game in general for both teams is very offense heavy. His best switch in to Iron Bundle is the Snorlax down below, and obviously that's going to get shit on by Sneasler with close combat, so I don't expect that to show up. Enamorus, I'm not really expecting to show up, mostly because we have Lycanroc and Sneasler. Those are like the 2 best answers to it, along with like Copperajah is really good against it as well. Even though it gets Mystical Fire and like Earth Power, I'm not too worried about it. Chandelure could be a problem. Goodra hits it, eats it up pretty well. Sylveon can as well, but it doesn't really hit it too hard. Toxtricity, I'm actually like not too worried about it. He obviously could take advantage of our electric terrain with it, but I'm not super worried about it. We have a lot of things on our team to deal with it pretty well. So hopefully, I mean, he could bring it, but I don't fully expect that. Mudsdale, I'm really not worried about at all. If he brings it, it's literally going to be to set up rocks, because Bundle obliterates it with any move that it wants to use, except for, it hits it with its dual step for super effective and sends it fucking home. I love Mudsdale, but I'm not worried about it this week. Snorlax, like I said, is his best switch into the Iron Bundle in my opinion. But with the thing with this matchup is he has things that hit my team very, very hard that I don't have great switches for. And, same thing goes for me. I have things that he doesn't switch into very well. Iron Bundle plus Sneasler rips his entire team apart. There's no switch-in that he has that takes care of both. So this game is going to come down to pick a sack. That is what this game comes down to. That's kind of how I have to play this game, and I understand that. Because it's like things that check Iron Bundle. You have, like, Hisuian Goodra's pretty decent against it, and Snorlax is really the 2 things that check Iron Bundle really well. And what's super effective on both of those things? Fighting? Oh wait, I have Sneasler, one of the best fighting types in the game. And the things that, Sneasler would struggle against, something like a Galarian Zapdos. Obviously, Iron Bundle's going to hit for super effective. Or if he wants to bring, some crazy, Willow Hex Chandelure, obviously we can do that as well. But I'm not expecting too much out of this game. I'm expecting this to be a very offensive game with not a whole lot of dedicated switch-ins. But let's go ahead, let's get into our team builder and what we're bringing this week. All right. Actually, no, wait, no. No, I need to have my team builder up over here so I can have it. Cool. All right, and we're back with this team builder for you guys. Cut. Bella, stop it! Knock it off. All right, guys, and we're back with this team builder. Alright guys, and we are back with this team builder for you guys. First up, we're going to be bringing Delizord, the Iron Bundle this week, with that choice specs, rocking I can't apparently... I'm gonna have to redo this too. Shit, fuck. There we go. Fucking Lord. Alright, guys, and we're back with that team builder for you. We're gonna start off with Delizord, our Iron Bundle this week, with the choice specs. Rock and Flip Turn, Hydro Pump, Freeze Dry, and Ice Beam. We are running Max Special Attack, Modest Nature, with 216 in Speed, and the rest into the HP for you. Fuck, I'm gonna have to... Oh my god, there's so much I'm gonna have to fucking cut now. Oh my god. God damn it. Alright guys, and we're back with that team builder for you. First up, we're going to be starting with Iron Bundle, Delizord this week, Rock and Flip Turn, Hydro Pump, Freeze Dry, and Ice Beam. We're running Max Special Attack, Modest Nature, 216 in Speed, with the rest in HP. This is enough speed to outspeed the Azelf. Everything else, honestly, with the with the choice specs, we're hitting everything super fucking hard. With the fact that he doesn't really have a great switch into this thing, or at least he doesn't have a switch in that also, like, wants to switch into something else. Specs Hydro Pump hits his team very, very hard, and otherwise, if it doesn't get hit by Hydro Pump, we're hitting it with Freeze Dry. So, definitely, there's very few switch-ins into Iron Bundle this week, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to just get this thing in and click some buttons. Next up here, we are running Kamatachi with the Electric Seed, with the Unburden ability, Sword Stance, Close Combat, Dire Claw, and Night Slash. We're running Max Attack, Adamant Nature with 40 in HP, 212 in Speed, and the 4 in Special Defense. 4 in Special Defense isn't anything specific. The main thing with that Speed is it's going to be outpacing the fucking, what's it called? Galarian Zapdos. That's the fastest thing that we can outspeed realistically that I want to, have to worry about outspeeding. I'm not super expecting the Azelf to show up. So at least for this specifically, I don't think it's that important to have to outpace that, pre-Unburden boost, which if with the item, you kind of expect what we're bringing for the rest of this team. But regardless, this thing, if I can get a Sword Stance up, there is nothing that switches into this. Close Combat is going to OHKO or 2-hit KO everything after a +2. Dire Claw is going to do the same thing to the rest. And the only thing that would stop both of those is things like the Chandelure, which is what Night Slash is for. Night Slash also hits that Azelf if it shows up, but I'm really, really, really not expecting it to. And next up here, we're going to be ringing Wilma, the Mandibuzz this week with the leftovers, with Big Pex as the ability. Ability is not super important. It doesn't really have an ability that benefits me this week, so I can kind of just run whatever I want. U-Turn, Knockoff, Defog, and Roost. We're running Max Physical Defense. This is our Galarian Zapdos check. This is also like a decent Samurott check, and this is a really decent. This is a nice switch into Earthquakes from Mudsdale, and be able to get those Defogs off. The only problem with running Defog is if he switches in like a Scarf Galarian Zapdos on a Defog, we might just lose. Like there's really not much I can do about that. But we're just not going to worry about that. We're going to worry about that when the time comes, okay? I promise. It's sort of. But yeah, hopefully Wilma's going to be able to get some nice chip for us this week with some knockoffs. Because, yeah, getting knockoffs on a lot of his team is very, very nice for us. Next up here, we're going to be bringing Unagi, our Pincurchin, with the Terrain Extender. We're running Spikes, Discharge, Scald, and Recover with Max Physical Defense. I'm not super worried about a lot of his special attackers that hit me very hard. There's not a whole lot I can do about it, so I'm not worried about having too much special defense switch in this week. His physical attackers, with Samurott and Galarian Zapdos kind of leading the charge there. Definitely more worried about those. Also, like a potential Curse-Lax would be annoying. But yeah, Spikes, because he doesn't have any removal from what I've seen on his team. So once those Spikes are up, they're up. He's got a couple of, off-the-ground mons. He's got 3 pre-Terra and then 2 post-Terra. I'm not expecting an Amherst to come, though. Galarian Zapdos, I don't mind. Like, it's, hazards on that thing aren't super crazy anyway. Like, Stealth Rocks aren't going to do too much to it anyway. And I'm not expecting it to be, like, Sash or anything, so I don't see the point in that respect. But yeah, Discharge is very free on his team, getting a ton of paras, potentially. And then Scald for the Mudsdale. Also just being able to pass around some burns on certain things, like the Galarian Zapdos or the Samurott would be nice. Although I'm not expecting either of those to want to switch into this thing. Physical defense kind of stops those things pretty well. Next up, we are bringing our dedicated special defense mon this week, Sylveon Serenity here with the leftovers, with Pixelate Ability, Hyper Voice, Baton Pass, Wish, and Protect. Max special defense here for us this week. This is like our dedicated Chandelure check, as well as a decent Yanmega check. If it's like Specs, Tinted Lens, Bug Buzz, Terra Bug, I think we just get 2-hit KO'd anyway. But if that's the case, then obviously we can work some stuff around it. Yeah, this is our dedicated like Shandy plus Yanmega check, plus kind of a way to just pass around wishes to things like the what's it called, Mandibuzz and the Pincurchin. Like I said, this is a very offensive game, so being able to keep we're not going to try and just dedicate a bunch of bulk to this team, but just being able to have a little bit of a switch in to stuff on his team is going to be nice for us. And then last but not least, we are running Malone, the Lycanroc Dusk this week with the Life Orb, with Accelerock, Stone Edge, Close Combat, and Psychic Fangs, with 80 HP, 252 in attack, and 176 Jolly Speed, which is going to outpace the Galarian Zapdos. I'm running Psychic Fangs over Play Rough because I feel Psychic Fangs also covers the Toxtricity if it wants to show up. And honest to God, Accelerock plus Close Combat hits almost everything for super effective on his team, or at least hits it very, very hard. Stone Edge obviously does a lot of coverage for that as well. The only thing that really takes this thing down is going to be the Mudsdale, but if that shows up, we can obviously opt to swap into something like the Mandibuzz and then, get like a slow U-turn or something out. Force it out, something like that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the team builder, and I will see you guys in the battle. Peace out. Yo, guys, what's going on here? It's Rose, bringing you guys the Week 3 game against Dashing Sceptile and his Seattle Sigilif. I apologize for this being post-com. When I recorded this game live, I had a lot going on. I was recovering from being, very sick, and on top of that, there was a lot of stuff that was going on outside of the game itself, to where I wasn't really proud of how it turned out with my quality of commentary, all that kind of fun stuff. So I do apologize for this being post-com, but our Week 4 game will be live. I promise you that much. So again, I want to say, thank you to you guys for your guys' support, and again, I'm sorry for this being post-com. Also, I want to give a thank you to Dashing here, because I thought I had lost my footage, so he sent me the footage that he had for the game. I am so glad I didn't lose my footage, so I can do this, but he was kind enough to send me his footage just in case, because I thought I lost it. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into this battle here. We are going to be leading off with the Mandibuzz in this game. So it was actually interesting. This is the second game, because in the first one, I ran out of time in selecting my mons and just kind of panic-picked a matchup. And it ended up working out in our favor. As you're going to see here in a second, he's going to be leading off with his Azelf, which is definitely something I was not surprised to see as his lead. I definitely thought it was something that he could do. But yeah, definitely a really good lead matchup for us. We got very lucky getting this lead matchup right. Or not necessarily right, but we got it in a favorable manner. I'm just kind of debating whether or not I want to U-turn, hard switch, what I'm wanting to do here, what I think he's going to do. We're just going to opt to click U-turn as he sets up his Stealth Rocks here. Definitely something I was planning on him doing. I definitely thought that was something he could do. We're going to see that he's not weakness policy. Excuse me. See that he is not weakness policy, which is definitely good for us, because I don't want to deal with, something that's going to be doing some weakness policies, sketchy shit. But yeah, here I'm just kind of debating, going through my calcs, seeing what I can do here, as we're going to be sending in our Sylveon here. This is a really good sponge check to this thing. This thing doesn't take, because we're full spit F on the Sylveon. So we're not going to be taking much from Psychics or Fire Blast or anything. We're going to hard Baton Pass on me predicting him to U-turn here. This is definitely a U-turning turn that I think, or at least that I thought of, but instead he's going to opt to Boom. So technically Sylveon's going to get credit for the kill, but Sylveon didn't do shit, which is super unfortunate because Sylveon was definitely nice in this game to deal with, like Yanmega in the back, or a special Yanmega, which was definitely something I was expecting. So losing Sylveon early on really sucked. But here I believe we're going to be just heading back into Mandibuzz. Yeah, we're going to be heading back into Mandibuzz here as he's going to be sending out his Gyaptos, which is definitely, like, this is good for us in the sense of we're going to be able to see what this thing is. I totally forgot I was Leftovers and not Boots in this. But we're just going to go ahead and knock this thing off. I'm expecting Banded, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's Scarfed. We do end up finding out, obviously, what his item is. Hopefully, with this knockoff, he is definitely taking a little while to wait. But knockoff was definitely free for us because this is going to be something that he's not going to be able to switch into. We are going to see that based on that damage, he's not banded. He's just raw. Jolly. But he is going to show that he is Choice Scarfed, or he was at least. And we're going to get that close combat defense drop, which is definitely good for us. We're going to opt to U-turn out on this turn. Whether he wants to U-turn himself, which he does end up doing here. And we're going to get a nice slow switch into, whatever we want based on what he sends in. He's going to send in his Chandelure, which is definitely kind of scary. Him doing this made me think it was Scarfed, which is definitely something I expected. I felt like Scarf was really, really good in this game. Basically outpacing everything except for like an Excel rocking Lycanroc, which we're going to be ending up going into here, just in case he is Scarfed. I wanted to check and see if Excel Rock would kill, and I believe it was a roll for Excel Rock to kill. So I was kind of skeptical about it, but we are going to go ahead and hit that Excel Rock. We are Life Orb. He is going to be sending in his Mudsdale, which is definitely a good play on his part. Getting that stamina boost, which this thing is a problem for Lycanroc. We don't want to deal with it at all. So we're going to have to be forced to switch here. I am going to go into Mandibuzz, just because Mandibuzz doesn't really do much for me at this point. It's already weakened enough. I expected him to Earthquake or maybe even Roar. I did not think he was going to do anything else, but he does opt to Body Press and knock out our Mandibuzz, which is okay. At this point, it wasn't super important. I do want to say I apologize for the blackout. At this point, my dog had been in the room, and she knocked over my Switch a little bit, so I had to get that fixed kind of quickly. We're going to go ahead and send in Iron Bundle here. At this point, Rockets are up for the remainder of the game. There's nothing we can do about it. But we're just going to go ahead and fire off a free move here. We're going to hit Ice Beam just in case he wants to go into Goodra, which is kind of what I'm expecting him to do. I maybe should have flip-turned on this turn, expecting the Goodra so I can get a free switch into Sneasler, which would have been great for us, but, that's all right. He is going to go into the Goodra, and then here, based on that damage, we are going to see that he is Assault Vested, or he is likely to be Assault Vested, because we are modest max special attack specs. I'm going to go into the Pincurchin here to set up Electric Terrain for both Bundle and Sneasler. As you're going to see, it's going to black out again. My dog was not having it today, or at least in that moment. But, it's all good. We're going to be sending out Pincurchin here. Pincurchin, I believe, making its debut, actually. Setting up that Electric Terrain. Getting knocked off by the Goodra, which definitely kind of sucks, but we got our Terrain Extender knocked off. It's not anything super crazy. So, it's okay. It's not like we had leftovers or something, or like Rocky Helmet or whatever. That was more important. And honestly, Goodra getting knockoff in this DLC was super nice for it. But we are just going to fire off a Discharge here. I don't expect him to go into Mudsdale. He might, but he does opt to go into the Chandelure, which was kind of surprising. Because, obviously you see, yes, it crit, but that did a sizable chunk. Here, I'm just allowing this to kind of get weakened a little bit. I'm okay with it getting a little weak. As he's going to opt to Memento here, getting his free switch into whatever he wants. We're going to fire off Discharge into Nothingness, which is unfortunate. Obviously fortunate for him. And he is going to send in his Yanmega. I'm expecting it, based on him bringing this in, I'm expecting it to be Terra Ground, so I'm going to go for a Scald here. Hoping I can maybe proc a burn, get some extra chip, which he is going to Terra here, and he is going to Terra Ground, like I expected. This is definitely good for him, but we get the Scald off. He is going to Sword Stance, which I was not expecting physical Yanmega, but it's definitely a good bring. We are going to get lucky enough to get the burn here. So I'm hoping that we're able to do something here. I'm willing to kind of stay in here because Scald is doing a decent chunk to this thing, and I don't really want to deal with too much. We're going to go into our Lycanroc, though, just because we can, sack this off. It's not super important at this point, so if he wants to, Terra Ground, Terra Blast, then that's totally fine with him, or with me at least. He is going to Sword Stance again, so he's effectively +2, I believe is how that works. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just head into our Lycanroc. This isn't super important at this point. It does chunk the Goodra, but that's about it. He is going to Leech Life and knock us out and basically get back up to full. And at this point, this thing's a problem. There's things I probably should have done in this to prevent this thing from getting back up to full. Like, I probably could have gone into Sneasler to close combat at some point, maybe instead of the Lycanroc. But I'm going to opt to go into Bundle. I think if I was maybe speed boosting, would have been a bit better instead of special attack boosting. But I wasn't expecting a speed boost Yanmega at this game. I was expecting Tinted Lens specs or something kind of like what he did against his Week 2 opponent. But yeah, we're just going to go ahead and fire off an attack here. I'm assuming he's probably going to go back into the Goodra. Just because he kind of can do that. He is going to opt to Protect. Instead, we're going to fire off the Ice Beam, obviously, into nothing. And, again, another Blackout, which is unfortunate. But yeah, this thing is definitely a problem. Yanmega is a problem. I didn't properly prepare for it. I felt like I had enough to handle it on my team with what I brought. But I didn't prepare for physical Sword Stancing Yanmega, which I probably should have. But that's okay. These things happen. But we're going to go ahead and fire off another attack here, hoping we live. We obviously don't, and he's going to get that hit off with his Yanmega. At this point, this game is pretty much over. Which is, unfortunate. There's not a whole lot I can do. I definitely didn't play this game super, super well. I wanted to get the Electrotang back up for Sneasler, which I probably, honestly, should have just gone into Sneasler instead of Bundle to begin with, because Close Combat would have done a really solid chunk. Or maybe I should have done, speed boosting Quark Drive instead of special attack boosting. But, you live and you learn. And at this point, this Yanmega is just going to rip us apart. At this point, there is not much I can do. Sorry about that. At this point, there's not much we can do. This thing's just going to rip us apart. I obviously, like I said, didn't properly prepare for this. And we are going to end up losing 4-0. We technically got 2 kills, but we didn't actually kill anything. They were both suicidal deaths. So, unfortunately, we did lose this week. GG's to Dashing, he played a great game. I did not. And I apologize for not giving him the best game I could. But like I said, guys, I was sick and I had a lot going on, which is no excuse. I definitely could have played a lot better. But, life goes on. Things happen. But we're definitely going to hope to bounce back in our next game against Misery and his Naruhata Hoppers. Hopefully we're able to do that. And I will see you guys then. Peace out.